Hello, 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 hello. Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited. I feel like I haven't spoken to you guys in so long. How's everyone doing? We'll wait a little bit to get more of you girls in here. Hi. Hello. I have my water here. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi. Oh my gosh, I've missed you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I just realized that this is in the background and I don't like it. So we're gonna move that. Hello, good morning. How's everyone doing? How's this year been for everybody? It started off rough for me. Good morning, Orlando. Nice. Okay, so I'm just putting this out there. I'm also filming this on this camera here. We're trying something different, trying to have other content. So if you see me look, that's what I'm doing. And then I also have the questions that you guys asked on this screen. So if I'm looking this way, that's what I'm doing. So I wanted just to let you know. It's been a rough one so far, but it can only go up from here for sure. Hi, Catherine. Hi. It started off so rough. Grateful for Karina's meditations. 1000%. I was gonna say that this program has just been like a godsend because it's been so nice. Everyone's been so sick. Hi from Houston. Hey. I'm also in Houston if you guys didn't know. But yeah, we're just gonna chat for a little bit, see how you guys are doing, see if there's any questions that you guys have about the challenge or anything really. That's what I'm here for. And then we also asked on the Tone It Up account if you guys have any questions for me, and that's what I have here. So we're just gonna weave everything in. So how's everyone doing with the challenge? Talk to me. Hi Hannah. How's it going? What program are you doing? Fill me in. Like I said, I was sick last week. I was supposed to go live with Karina. Life said, no, you're not going live. Sorry. But yeah, the meditations are like so great. Oh, Lizzie. Crying means breakthrough, right? Let it go. We're releasing the things that we don't, doesn't serve us, that we don't need. I could do better with the journaling. Oh my gosh, girl, same. Hi, Rosie. Hi. I think it's the filter. The filter is making me glow. 1000%. How do you stay motivated? Oh gosh, okay. Let's get these questions started. So motivation, I think motivation is like, when the new year starts, everyone's like, oh, new year, new me, I got this. But if you really think about it, nothing really changes from the 31st to the 1st. And so it's so much more than motivation. You have to really think about why you're doing what you're doing. And when you are lacking said motivation, that's where discipline kicks in and is like, no, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm doing this because XYZ, whatever your reason is, what your why is, and that should be the motivation. So motivation is fleeting. It's the discipline that is gonna get us to where we wanna go. Doesn't matter what your goal is. It could be a financial goal, it could be a physical goal, it could be a spiritual goal, whatever it is. We're all gonna have moments that we're not motivated. And it's when we have to think about our why and why we're doing what we're doing. If it's let's just say that, let's just an easy goal. I want to lose weight. Not easy, but you know what I mean? I want to lose weight. But you want to lose weight because I don't know. I just want you to really think about your why. Is it because you want to play with your kids? Is it because you want to be stronger? Is it because you don't want to be winded? Is it because you want to look good? It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it is true to you. That is what should fuel you throughout your journey, right? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are so sweet. Okay, let's find another question. What is the difference between strength and conditioning? So usually strength and conditioning can go hand in hand, but if we break those up, strength is what it says, it's strength. So you're lifting heavier weights, putting more stress on your muscles so that they break, which is what's happening when you're working out. And then when they recover, they get bigger or toned or whatever. So that's strength. It's when you want to lift heavy, and you want to typically do periodization. So that's when you're lifting heavy and you're adding weight to every single lift. So you are training for strength. Now conditioning is different. That's, you know, more HIIT type workouts, more for your heart health. And that's why strength and conditioning, you hear that a lot when it comes to like team sports, because you need a lot of bit of strength and a lot of bit of conditioning, and you pair those together. And that's what strength and conditioning is. Drop the details on that Yami program. Oh gosh. Soon. How often a week should we plan to keep doing yoga a week after this program is done to keep improving? So, okay, what do you want to be improving? Is it flexibility? Is it your breath work? Is it, so for me, I love to incorporate different kinds of style. So I don't really have, that was another question, I think a goal for the challenge. And I don't necessarily have, I have fleeting goals. Like I want to be so good. I want to be conditioned. What's the word I'm looking for? I just blanked out. I just want to have really good conditioning, meaning like I want to be able to, like Steph is a beast when it comes to HIIT, running. She has a lot of cardiovascular health. Like I am, I'm okay. But Steph is a beast, and I want to be like that sometimes. And then other days I'm like, I want to lift so heavy. I want to gain my strength. And other times I'm like, I want to lift, or I want to work out to look good. And so I have all of these endurance. Thank you. Wow, I couldn't. I have all these fleeting goals that are not like super like, oh, I'm dying to do this. So I say that because to answer your question about the yoga, for me, since I have all these kind of fleeting goals and it's not so much like one, I like to balance out my week with, a strength-based workout, a HIIT-based workout, and yoga. And so that could look like 2 days strength. Oh no. It could look like 2 days strength, 2 days HIIT, 1 day yoga, or if you want to do a 6-day split, you can add, 2 day strength, 2 day yoga, 2 day HIIT. There's so many different variations. You have to really figure out what works best for you. I saw a question that I didn't want to miss. Okay, here. How to increase strength without increasing weight, increasing reps. Okay, so think about that question, right? To increase your strength, you're gonna have to lift heavier. So if we only lift 5 pounds, our body's gonna get comfortable with 5 pounds, and that at one point is gonna get light for you. So you wanna continue to lift heavier. And I know that it might sound, why is there, are any of you scared of lifting heavy? Let's talk about that real quick, and then we can go deeper on that. But unfortunately, while more reps will help you, you're never gonna be able to lift heavier unless you challenge your muscles. Does that make sense? We knew that was gonna happen. We knew. Sorry about that. I wish I could lift heavy. My joints aren't a fan at the moment. Yeah, so that is also with practice, right? Your joints will start to get stronger. So I don't want you to go from like, I'm just saying 5 pounds to like 20 pounds. Like that's not what I'm asking you to do. But I am asking you to take, 5 pounds, maybe up it to 7.5 or 8. And here, I'll tell you this. So like, let's say you're doing 5 pounds and you get 10 reps, that's excellent. But you feel like it's not really doing much, right? So what you do is you go heavier, let's say 8 pounds, and then you decrease the reps until you're able to do the 10, and then the 8 pounds will be your light set. So the heavier the weight, the lighter the reps, if that makes sense. Can't wait for a Yami program. Hope there's some heavy strength. Let's find another question. How much do I lift? I don't know what the question means. Do I, like, how much weight have I lifted? Oh my gosh, I think my deadlift PR was like 255 pounds, which I can't do that right now, but you know, I want to eventually get there again. That's amazing, Lizzie. I'm so proud of you. That's great. Yeah, so listen, just stick with that. And then when truly ask yourself how this feels, like if you're doing, you know, bicep curls, and if you genuinely feel that it's too heavy, or if that, you know, it's too light, listen to yourself and then move up. And then of course, like, you can always drop the reps. Sorry, my dog just came in here with a toy. I'm just making sure that, you know. Okay, will we see, hold on, I just lost it. Do you have to refill with protein if you ate a full meal a couple hours before a workout? So if you are eating a full meal, I have questions for you, because I mean, I cannot eat a full meal before a workout. I feel like I'm gonna barf. But yes, you do wanna, you know, refuel after your workout. There is not necessarily like a perfect timing. We're not competing here. We're not, you know, trying to be the next bodybuilder. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, a 30-minute window. It's just, you know, refuel your body. We replenish, or like you want to replenish what you exerted. So definitely. Oh, that's awesome. I know, I can't eat before a workout either. Kristen is who asked that. So Kristen, power to you, because I cannot. Meditation before or after the workout. Honestly, that is an individual thing. For me, I don't know if you saw my post when the challenge started, or no, not when the challenge started, like 4 days after, because that's when I started. But my body just went in this like rhythm. I did the HIIT workout, and then I meditated with one of Karina's meditations, and then I journaled, and that was so nice. It was just like, because sometimes we meditate to like wake up and get in the mood for our day, but then I find if I meditate first and then I go high intensity and I go, you know, heavy weights, I am kind of, you know, I start with the meditation, I'm here, and then I work out, and then I'm back here, and I want to come back down. So I prefer, right now in this moment of my life, I prefer to do the meditation after, so that it helps me come down from my workout and sets me up for the rest of the day. I like to meditate first thing in the morning, or I feel like I get swept up in the day and neglect it. Oh, so true too. So that's so great. Any journal recommendations? Okay, so one thing that you may or may not know about me is that I tend to overcomplicate everything. And you know, sometimes we're like, oh, I have to find the perfect planner to, you know, change my life, or I have to find the perfect journal to change my life. And at the end of the day, if we keep it simple, that is what's going to change our life. And if we do what we say we're going to do, that is what's going to change our life. So somebody asked, any journal recommendations? Take a piece of paper, take a blank notebook, and just start writing. I read a lot of self-help, like get better books. And I read this one, and what was it called? The Artist's Way. And this woman had a like a meditative practice that would she would call the morning pages. And I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but essentially it's when she journals, and there's no prompts, there's no nothing, but she just writes in her journal 3 pages full, like front and back. And it's great because you just write and it just flows. Like you just have to like put stuff down on paper, and that is just going to, honestly, it made such a huge difference. And I think once you start doing that, yes, the journal now is amazing. The total body, yes, so great. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so like once you start doing that, maybe you want to incorporate prompts. We can find prompts anywhere. Like one of you said, Karina's journal is amazing. But if you have never journaled before, I know that some of us are kind of like, oh, I don't know what to write about. Honestly, morning pages, there's no rhyme or reason. There's no instructions. There is no right way, wrong way. Just write whatever comes out, and do not pick up that pencil or pen until you're done with the 3 pages. It's so great. I don't do yoga or meditate, but I do have a devotional worship prayer in the morning, and I love to. Yes, okay, so when I say meditate, that's also what I mean. Like, it's my time when prayer, okay, so if we want to talk about morning routine, here we go. So I wake up, Taz and I have coffee, and I read my devotional, and then I'm actually doing this journal right now. It's called The Between Places, and this was gifted to me by Steph and Tori, actually. And this one actually has prompts. And so I'll have my coffee, I'll do that, and then Taz and I listen to worship music, get our day started right, and then I love the Simple Care Planner. It's more of a gratitude and checklist journal. Yeah, love that. And then I do my workout, wherever that workout is for the day, and then I finish with the meditation. But to me, that is more of like a prayer, like a great, I was gonna say gratitude and then grateful at the same time. A gratitude journal, and then that day or these past couple days when I've been journaling after my workout, it's also like a prayer. So, you know, it's whatever works for you, find what works for you. And I think that, you know, by trying different things, you'll know what works for you and what your body responds to, what your mind responds to. And then it literally becomes a habit. Let's see if there was any other questions that I missed. I get OCD about starting it too. Same, girl, same. 5-minute journal is also really nice too. But Tone Body, Tone Mind journal is great. Okay, TIE team, you all have to DM your specific planner and journals you like in desperate need. Okay, let's see. How do I motivate myself to work out in the morning? Okay, so this is also kind of like wait a minute, this is an important question. Do you recommend taking protein every day? 1000%. Oh, I mean eating like protein powder. So all the supplements are just that, they're supplements. If you find that you're not getting enough protein throughout the day for what your body needs, then 1000% yes. I also think protein is great, like the ready to drink protein is great. The RTD, I want to say cans, but they're not cans, like the box proteins that we have. And then the protein bars, the cookies, all really great options if you're like in a rush and or you're at work and you can't get enough protein in. 1000%. But yes, protein 1000%. What was the question? How do I motivate myself to work out in the morning? Yeah, so this is a personal thing. Do you work out in the morning because you think you have to, or because that is when, you know, the best chance for you to work out? Why is it that you want to work out in the morning? I'll speak from experience. For me, if the workout doesn't happen in the morning, it's just not gonna happen. Because once I get started for the day, I start working, my mind is here and I'm not even thinking about working out, and then it's literally not gonna happen. So for me, that's why I choose to work out in the morning in this season of my life. But in the past, there were days or there were times where I would work out at night. I'm talking about like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and that would put me to sleep. So, you know, you have to just kind of figure out what works for you in this season of your life, and then that is what's gonna help you stay in that habit. Oh my gosh, so many questions. Okay, is when trying to build muscle, is there a certain amount of protein per day that we should be eating? So that's kind of like a technical question. I don't want to just answer just a number because it's very, very personal, but yes, there is. It's a calculation. Some people say 1 pound per body weight. Some people say that's too much. So yes, protein is definitely a priority when you're building muscle. What about motivating in the winter? It's so cold outside. So many influencers live in warm weather where it's easier to go outside and work out. Girl, I used to live in New Hampshire, and I was competing in New Hampshire, and I was competing I did 8 competitions in the middle of winter. So I totally understand where you're coming from. It's literally the death of me. But you know, if you have a gym, hopefully your gym has heat. And for me, it was, I just hate the cold so much. So I would just delay going to the gym because I didn't want to go outside into the car. Like, it was like, our gym was fine, it had heat and it was fine. Once you're in the heat, it's fine. But it's just so like cold, and you know, it's just, I mean, you guys know what winter is. But if you work out at home, and I have a client that works out in the garage, but it's freezing in there. So I just told her to bring her equipment inside and work out inside. And then I think this is where the discipline comes in, because even though we know that like the winter blues exist and all of that, we know that when we work out, we feel better. So we have to do things in the present for our future self, if that makes sense. I have learned that, you know, so many choices that, I mean, this is so like kind of dumb. Like when we think about it, it's like, duh, of course, that our present self is making our future self, you're making things easier on yourself or harder on yourself. So I have kind of shifted my focus that I'm living for my future, not for my present. So like, that sounds weird. I'm also living in the present, but hear me out. It's like, I'm doing things that's gonna benefit me tomorrow, benefit me in a week, benefit me in a month. And that's, you know, in what we're talking about now, it's working out, it's eating healthy, so that in a week from now, I feel good. In a month from now, I look better. In a month from now, I feel like I can, you know, run without losing my breath. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I'm like an overthinker, and you don't want to get into a conversation with me because we'll be there for hours. How to prioritize self-value and get out of toxic relationships. Anyone else? I'm done with the negativity this year, but it's scary to put myself first and respect my own boundaries. So obviously I'm not a therapist, so I don't want to, you know, say things just to say things, but from my experience, it's so hard because a lot of us, we're creatures of habit. And if we are in a relationship that's toxic, either friends, family, whatever, we're scared to go away because that's all we know, right? But you also have a feeling that there's so much more than this, and that you deserve more respect, and you deserve to not be in a toxic relationship. So number one, I would talk to somebody that can help you. And number two, I would literally do everything in your power to put yourself first. And that can look like small steps first, right? And then from there, move up in whatever decision you make. I'm not here to tell you what to do because, you know, it's not my job to. It's so easy for me to get frustrated with trying to lose weight that I've recently gained. Like, I want it to be gone now. I know. Listen, when I was getting ready for my wedding, I was so, oh, come on, reconnect. I was getting so angsty. I was so frustrated. I wasn't losing weight. But it's when I stopped like stressing about it, it's when I started like falling. Excuse me. I think that stress is so detrimental. I mean, everybody thinks that, but when you really think about it, we stress about everything. And one thing that I have been thinking about recently is, so I deal with anxiety and depression. I don't really talk about it. But I deal with anxiety, and sometimes I'm in my own head a lot, that I worry about something that hasn't happened yet. I've come to notice that like I'm worrying about things that never happen. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do that anymore because you're wasting so much of your life, so much of your thought, so much of your happiness. Write reminders to yourself on the mirror saying that you're worth it. Yes, I actually did that in my old apartment. Instead of saying you're worth it, I wrote you are called, because I believe we are all called for something in this world, right? So there are lots of types of toxic relationships. With food is one of them. Focus on eating healthy and treating yourself with what you want. Yes, I want to be back where I was a year ago. Can I talk to you from my heart real quick, Brittany? Because like I said, I was competing for a long time. And I was at the fittest, the skinniest, the rippest. And you know, there are times that I'm like, oh, I want to look like that again. There are times I want, but that's like in the past. Like let's not think about what we used to look like. Let's think about our future, what we could look like, or what goals can inspire us to be better. Do not get me wrong. I totally understand that we appreciate what we used to look like and we want to be that, right? But if we're being super honest, like, were you happy with that? Like, were you like, oh, I'm good, like I look great? Or were you doing what I did? And even at my thinnest, even at my fittest, I had like a 6-pack. I was, you know, whatever. I was still nitpicking myself. And I'm like, oh, I have cellulite here. Ooh, I have this, I have this. Is Blair on here? Hi, Blair. And so even at I think we were talking about this when we went out to dinner. I was so nitpicking and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still so fat. Oh my gosh, no. And again, I'm worrying about things that I have no reason to worry about back then. And now looking back, you know, like you, I'd pay $1 million to look like how I used to do. But we have to be honest with ourselves, and we're in different seasons of our lives. And, you know, some of you might be mothers, some of you have given birth, some of you, you know, all these different things. And I was gonna say, unfortunately, we're not our past, but I wanna say fortunately, because, you know, we're not our past. We're not stuck in that anymore. So if there's anything you take away from this, is that moving forward, it's not about looking how you did in the past or doing what you used to do in the past. It's about kind of like reinventing yourself. And that's, I think, what's really cool about growing up. Like Taz and I have a joke that our New Year's resolution is to like reinvent ourselves. And I think that's so fun. We have so much opportunity. This world is so endless, and we are so consumed with what we look like, what we used to do, what we used to eat, how we used to look, and it just is not good for us. We need to focus on the future. Our pastor says this thing, he's like, there's a reason why your rear view mirror is smaller than your windshield, because you're not going back, like you're going forward. So let's take that this new year. Like, let's just focus on the future. Let's just forget about the past. Let that fuel you, let that motivate you, let that inspire you. But let's set our goals towards the future instead of the past. Whew. I don't know where that came from, but that was great. Thank you guys for inspiring that little conversation. This reminds me a lot about what Kat talks about in her 640 program. Oh, I love that program. It was so great. Our bodies are meant to serve us in life. Don't sacrifice life for a way to look. Get it, girl. Yeah, it is a slippery slope to be like that. 100% I did that. I look back to my fittest at 12% body fat, and I remember I hated the photos. Looking at them now, it's frightening. I thought that way. Yeah, exactly. Blair and I were actually just talking about this. I showed her a picture of when I was like at right before my national competition. And back then I was like, oh, I look amazing. But today I'm like, ooh, a little too much, you know what I mean? So, that's what good body, right? Yes, that's why Karina's program is just so amazing, because we're working not only on your physical, but your mental as well. And it, you know, it goes hand in hand always. So, okay, I want to be respectful of your time. It's 11:30. We went on a tangent this morning, but I loved this conversation. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are just now tuning in, this will be saved to the Tone It Up page so you can check it out whenever you want. But this was so much fun. Thank you girls so much for just inspiring me and just, oh, you guys are just the best. You motivate me, so thank you so much. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. If you have any questions at all, feel free to DM me, DM us, and we'll talk so soon. Love y'all so much and have an amazing day. Love you, bye.